Amaka was a young girl who lived in a small village within the lush forests of Nigeria. She was known for her kindness and beauty, but her family was very poor. One day, as she was gathering firewood in the forest, she came across a mysterious old woman. The woman, with eyes that seemed to glow, handed Amaka a small, intricately carved flute. "This flute is special, my dear," the old woman said with a sly smile. "Whenever you play it, you will transform into a snake and vomit money. But remember, use this gift wisely." Amaka, surprised and curious, accepted the flute and returned home. That night, she couldn't resist trying it out. As she played the flute, she felt her body change, and to her amazement, she transformed into a snake. Gold coins and money began to pour from her mouth. At first, Amaka used her newfound ability to help her family. She provided them with everything they needed: food, clothes, and a better home. The villagers, noticing the sudden change in her family's fortune, began to grow curious. Rumors spread about the mysterious wealth, but Amaka kept her secret close. As time passed, Amaka became greedy. The more money she vomited, the more she wanted. She played the flute every night, transforming into a snake and producing endless wealth. Her family's life improved dramatically, but Amaka's heart grew cold. She began to distance herself from her friends and neglected the simple joys of life she once cherished. One day, as Amaka played the flute, something went wrong. The transformation was slower, and when she turned into a snake, she felt a searing pain in her body. The money that came out was no longer gold but dirty, foul-smelling notes. Horrified, she tried to stop, but the flute seemed to have a mind of its own. Amaka's greed had taken its toll. Her body was weakening, and the villagers, noticing her decline, began to avoid her. Her once beautiful home became a prison, filled with money that brought her no joy. The flute, once a tool of wealth, was now a curse. Desperate and frightened, Amaka returned to the forest in search of the old woman. She wandered for days, growing weaker with each passing moment. Finally, she found the woman sitting by a stream, as if she had been waiting for her. "Please help me," Amaka begged. "I don't want this power anymore." The old woman looked at her with pity. "I warned you to use the gift wisely, but you let greed consume you. The power was never meant to be used for selfish gain." Amaka realized her mistake and wept bitterly. "Please take it away. I just want to be normal again." The old woman nodded and took the flute from Amaka. With a wave of her hand, the flute dissolved into the air, and Amaka felt the curse lift. She was no longer a snake, and the wealth that had brought her so much misery disappeared. Amaka returned to her village, now a changed person. She no longer cared for wealth but instead sought happiness in the simple things. She reconnected with her friends and helped others with what little she had. The villagers, seeing her transformation, welcomed her back with open arms. Amaka learned that true wealth is not in money or material things but in love, kindness, and contentment. Her story became a lesson for the entire village, a reminder that greed can destroy even the most beautiful soul. Greed blinds us to the true value of life. It is only through humility, contentment, and kindness that we find real happiness and peace.